while he may never be Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson, he's better than Mason Rudolph.
I know that people are going to make fun of Mitchell Trubisky, and it's absolutely warranted, but I thought it was a really good deal. It's so cheap for a quarterback.
I wanted to talk to you about the Mitchell Trubisky. I'm not saying I love this move, but for the Steelers, obviously he goes to Pittsburgh. I think I'm basically something with you. He's better than Mason Rudolph. And while he may never be Patrick Mahomes or, Deshaun Watson, I mean, it's a risk I understand Pittsburgh's willing to take. It's kind of a low-end risk once again. We mentioned the quarterback class. Nothing really wows you there. Most of we saw Aaron Rodgers go back to Green Bay. I'm not sure if they're in talks for Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson went to Denver. Who knows what's going to happen with the Deshaun Watson situation? And does Pittsburgh even have the ammo to trade for him? And then other than that, I mean, who else is really out there for Pittsburgh? Maybe Jameis Winston, but once again, coming off an ACL tear. So I'm okay with this. I see it as like a low risk, low reward kind of move. And if it doesn't work out, then maybe they can get a quarterback next year's draft. But what were your thoughts in regards to this this signing?
I know that people are going to make fun of Mitchell Trubisky, and it's absolutely warranted, but I thought it was a really good deal. It's so cheap for a quarterback. It's 2 years for $14 million. There's incentives if he does well to bump it up to $27 million, which is still crazy cheap. I don't think there's a single starting quarterback that would be making less than $15 million a year that's not a rookie. So I think from a financial standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. It's only 2 years. It's not a big commitment. This year's free agent class sucks. This year's trade market outside of Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson sucks. Russell's already gone. Aaron Rodgers is staying. The Steelers are apparently out on Deshaun. And so, are you going to trade for Jimmy G? I don't think that's a viable long-term answer.
And also, Jimmy G's got the big contract, and he can't practice until, I think, June or July because he just had shoulder surgery. So you can't really run a physical with him anyway.
And his contract only lasts 1 month. So if you don't like what you see in the next year's class, well, now you got to start thinking about, do we commit to Jimmy G? It just doesn't, there's not a lot to work with. So I think it was a fine move for the Steelers. I think that this just gives them an opportunity to where they can pass on this year's class. And that's what I would do if you're in quarterback, spot where you need somebody. And now you can look towards next year in which you got Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, a lot more blue chip prospects at the QB position can come out of the quarterback spot. And best case scenario, Trubisky works out. Well, now you have a quarterback. I mean, if everybody's saying that, Matt Nagy is as bad as people think he is, and he's to blame for Justin Fields and all these kind of guys, well, maybe Trubisky deserves another chance. I don't think he showed enough to call him a full-blown backup for the rest of his career. I think he still could potentially show something to where he could start. I'm not going to say that he's going to be the next Drew Brees. I don't know if everybody remembers Drew Brees, but he was in the Chargers and he didn't work out there. They drafted Eli Manning, who then got traded for Phillip Rivers to replace him. And then he goes to the Saints and obviously turns into a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he's going to do that, but you never know. I still think there's potential for Trubisky to figure things out because his biggest issue was just making bad decisions. I think he has athleticism. I think he has good arm talent. So if he can fix that kind of stuff, then maybe he can turn into a really good quarterback. If it doesn't pan out, once again, super cheap. It's only 2 years. That kind of money, that's backup money. That's cheap backup money. Their backups getting paid more than that. So if you get another guy to, be your starter and he becomes your backup, it's not a big deal financially. So I thought it was a great move for the Steelers.
Yeah, just the last point too. Yeah, I love the point you mentioned. Offensive had Matt Nagy, who obviously didn't work out. Even in that first year, I forgot what they had, but I think his leading receiver, it was a pretty bad offense, that Bears offense, his first rookie year before they brought in Matt Nagy. And I think it's
Kevin White.
I think Kevin White was his leading. I don't think Kevin White even was. I think it was Tariq Cohen was his best. It was their statistical leading receiver. Yeah, that was someone that didn't even get signed to a team next year. So that's how poor that offense was, both talent and scheme wise. So he kind of got a run of the deal, like you mentioned. I guess, and apparently, Pittsburgh wasn't the only team interested in him. Remember, the Giants apparently were interested in bringing him in too. So there's been some buzz around him. getting another chance. So we'll see if he can make the most of that.